Did you know that the 2024-25 UEFA Champions League just saw one of the most heated moments in recent history? What started as a thrilling match between Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid quickly escalated into one of the most talked-about on-field confrontations of the year. Kylian Mbappé, the iconic PSG forward, and Jude Bellingham, Real Madrid's fearless midfielder, found themselves at the center of a fiery clash. But this wasn't just any football match. This was a battle of passion, pride, and intensity. Let's take you back to that unforgettable night in the Santiago Bernabéu. It was the second leg of the quarterfinals, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. The first leg had ended with PSG and Real Madrid tied 2-2, leaving everything to be decided in this high-stakes showdown. Fans packed the stadium, with chants echoing through the air, both sides knowing that only one team would emerge victorious. But no one could have predicted the tension that would soon follow. The game kicked off at full throttle. From the very first minute, you could see the intensity in the eyes of both teams. Mbappé, known for his blistering pace and skill, was immediately in the thick of the action. But Real Madrid wasn't backing down. Bellingham, with his powerful presence in midfield, was proving to be a challenge for PSG's attacking line. The match had all the ingredients of a classic, but then, it happened. At the 25th minute, the first major incident of the game took place. Mbappé, with his lightning-fast feet, broke through Real Madrid's defense. He was charging toward the penalty box when Bellingham came sliding in to tackle. The referee blew his whistle, and the stadium fell silent. A penalty was awarded to PSG. But that's where things got heated. Bellingham wasn't having it. He stormed over to the referee, arguing that he had won the ball. The players surrounding him tried to calm him down, but the tension was palpable. Mbappé, who was getting ready to take the penalty, walked up to Bellingham and told him to back off. And that's when sparks flew. The two young stars, both considered the future of world football, were face to face. Mbappé, always the confident figure, stared down Bellingham. There was no love lost between these two competitors. And in that moment, it was clear, this wasn't just about the game. It was about pride. About who could dominate. About who could prove they were the best. Their teammates intervened quickly, but not before Bellingham gave Mbappé a few words. The stadium buzzed with anticipation. What would happen next? Would the confrontation escalate even further? The football world waited on the edge of their seats. Mbappé, undeterred by the exchange, took the penalty with incredible composure. The ball sailed into the bottom corner of the net, sending the PSG fans into wild celebration. But this moment wasn't just about the goal. It was the aftermath. Mbappé had scored, but Bellingham wasn't backing down. The Englishman's fiery attitude continued to dominate the match. Moments later, he would have his revenge. In the 38th minute, Bellingham answered with a goal that reminded the world of why he's one of the brightest young talents in football. A thunderous strike from outside the box sent the ball crashing into the top corner of the net. Real Madrid were back in the game, and the crowd erupted. The intensity between the two players was far from over, and now, the match was more than just a game of football, it had become a battle for supremacy. Both players continued to exchange blows on the pitch, metaphorically, of course. Mbappé looked to use his pace to break through, while Bellingham tried to control the midfield, ensuring that Real Madrid had the upper hand. Every time Mbappé received the ball, Bellingham was there. Every time Bellingham tried to dictate play, Mbappé was ready to pounce. This was a true footballing rivalry in every sense of the word. But as the game progressed, something became clear. Both Mbappé and Bellingham weren't just playing for their clubs, they were playing for their legacy. This wasn't a one-off incident, it was the beginning of what could become a defining rivalry in football for years to come. The match ended 3-3 on aggregate, sending the game into extra time. The tension in the stadium was unbearable, as fans were treated to 30 more minutes of heart-stopping football. But as the final whistle blew, signaling the end of an epic encounter, it was clear that this wasn't just about the result, it was about the showdown between two of the game's future stars. After the match, both Mbappé and Bellingham were asked about the on-field altercation. Bellingham, ever the professional, commented, "In a game like that, emotions run high. We're both competitors, and we'll both fight for our teams." Mbappé, meanwhile, stated, "I respect Jude as a player, but on the pitch, we're both warriors. You do whatever it takes to win." What started as a heated exchange between two stars turned into a match that no one would forget. It wasn't just about goals, tackles, or penalties. It was about the sheer will to win, the passion of the players, and the fierce rivalry between two of the most exciting talents in world football. But the question remains, what does the future hold for Mbappé and Bellingham? Will this rivalry continue to grow, or was this a one-off confrontation? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, football has never been more thrilling.